President Obama's decision to launch a war against Libya demonstrates that a key principle of U.S. foreign policy has been abandoned. The Weinberger-Powell Doctrine stipulates a series of steps that the U.S. government must take before committing the military into action. Is there a compelling national interest at stake? Is there strong public support? Have the costs and consequences of intervention been considered? Is there a clear and achievable military mission? Have we exhausted all available options? In other words, is military force the only option available? President Obama's decision to launch military operations against Libya fails on at least 4 of these 5 counts. There is no compelling U.S. national security interest at stake in Libya. The mission is strictly a humanitarian mission to protect Libyan civilians from attacks by Muammar Gaddafi's forces. There is not strong public support for this mission, and we know that because the White House did not request authorization from Congress before committing forces into combat. The costs of this operation are indeterminate and could be very high. We don't know the cost because we don't know the end game. We don't know what the mission for the military is. Judging from the headlines and the statements of senior administration officials, the mission continues to change. Initially, it was about protecting Libyan civilians from Colonel Gaddafi's forces, but at other times the administration has said they would only be satisfied if Gaddafi leaves office. Which is it? Unless we know the answer, we'll never know when we're done. President Obama has spent most of his time and energy making the case for this mission on the grounds that military action was essential to preventing the slaughter of Libyan civilians on the ground by Muammar Gaddafi's forces. Unfortunately, because the mission does not meet the first 4 criteria, he cannot justify the use of the U.S. military in this mission. A core set of principles governing the use of force is essential, especially for a country like the United States. President Obama is always going to be asked to intervene on someone's behalf, but he must be able to make distinctions between those missions that we choose to become involved in and those that we avoid. Otherwise, we will be dragged into countless conflicts around the world.